Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Quavonne, and guess what? I want to talk, so let's talk. Listen, y'all. Today I want to do something kind of different. So the other day I was on the phone with my daughter, and me and my daughter, we talk a lot, and we do this thing that I call biblical life skill session. So the other day we was talking about finances, and so we was just going back and forth about finances, and I was giving her the biblical advice or the biblical strategies on how to grow your finances. And my daughter was like, Ma, you need to make a video about this. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll make a video about it, whatever. But she was like, it's an important video because it's something that they don't teach you in church and they don't teach you in school. And what I love is that I love how the Most High works with me on my level. He literally gives me the Bible, and he teaches me the Bible in this logical way that is so easy to apply to everyday life. Right? So listen, y'all, I am not no financial guru, but what I do is I take these biblical principles and I apply them to every area of my life, and I win. They successful in every area. So the other day, me and her was talking, and we was talking about this overflow. And I know y'all here in church, the pastor tell you pray for the overflow, give for the overflow, and everybody is so infatuated or so mesmerized by this so-called overflow, right? And so, but nobody ever teaches us what that overflow is. Like, what is that overflow? What is this overflow that I'm praying for? What is this overflow that I'm waiting for? Because for real, most people think out of the sky is just going to fall a whole bunch of money. And that's not really how it works. Really, this overflow is using these biblical terms to enhance or to make your finances make you more money, right? That's just the bottom line. And that's what the overflow is. I call it a normal flow. The normal flow is your everyday life, how much money you make, your everyday spending, your bills, and all of that. And the overflow would be defined in my book as anything that is outside of that cup, anything that's flowing outside of that cup. And that would be any extra money, maybe a bonus on your job. I would consider that an overflow. Maybe you got a side hustle. I would consider that an overflow. Maybe all of a sudden you got this big lump sum. I would consider that an overflow. But nobody teaches us how to, with my everyday flow, how do I biblically get this overflow, right? So that's what me and my daughter conversation was about. We was talking about finances, and like I said, me and this little baby, I love her. This is my older daughter. I love both my daughters, y'all. But my older daughter, she at the age now to where we have more of these biblical powwows, and they more in depth and more intense. We've been having her whole life, but y'all know how kids is. You the smartest thing till they get about 16, and then you ain't smart no more till they turn about 18. Then when they get 19, 20, they start making sense. And she 21, so she start making sense. So we have a lot of these. She called me a lot, and we have a lot of these powwows. So the other day we was having this financial powwow, and I was breaking down the scripture because I told her, Yeshua literally teaches this biblical principle on how to use your money, how to invest, or how to make your money let you see this overflow, right? So she was like, okay, Ma. She was like, and then when we got done, she was like, Ma, that was good. You need to make a video about that. So here I am making a video. So y'all, I'm gonna go to Matthew 25. I'm gonna read the same scriptures that I read with her, and then we're gonna kind of go over them. And I know as soon as I start reading the scriptures, y'all gonna be like, oh dang, I read that 80 times and now it makes sense. Listen, I am not no genius. I literally just allow the Most High to give me his word, and I need him to break it down to me in a logical way, in a applicable way, in a way that I can apply it to everyday life. And y'all, I am so thankful that he does, because I always tell people he is my gift. The Most High is truly my gift because he literally gives me what I need, the knowledge I need, the logic I need. He get the protection. He do it all, y'all. So Matthew 25. So Matthew 25, this is a scripture that everybody probably know, but this is really Yeshua giving us these biblical insights on finances. So he says, I'm gonna start in chapter 25 verse 14. It say, for the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. 15. And it say, and unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2 talents, and to another 1 talent, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Now let me just stop right there and just break that part down. I want y'all to know, I know they got all these videos out there but everybody is not going to be a millionaire. Everybody is not going to be an entrepreneur. It ain't even realistic. That ain't even logical for everybody to be thinking they going to be an entrepreneur, because if everybody was an entrepreneur, who would do the important stuff like work in the stores, serve us at restaurants, help us with groceries? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who would do the everyday important stuff that we need? So I want y'all to get out your mind. Everybody is not going to be an entrepreneur. Everybody may not be a millionaire, but everybody has the ability to use these biblical terms for the overflow in your finances. Whatever that may be. If you make $25,000 a year, hey, it's good for you, and you can see the overflow in your $25,000 a year. If you make $100,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $75,000 a year, you can see the overflow in that. So I just want to take that part right there and just say, the Bible is literally telling you, he gave one man 5, he gave one man 2, and he gave one man 1. So that lets you know that according to the ability, or according to what you have. So whatever you have, you can use these biblical terms to see an overflow, right? I just want to come in real quick in the middle of this video and say, like, share, and subscribe. Listen, send this video to somebody that you know that needs to hear these words. Send this video to your children. Send this video to your cousins. Share this video so that we can empower each other with the word of the Almighty. So share the video, subscribe, and get back to it. Okay. Verse 16. So then it say, then he that have received the 5 talents, he went and traded with the same and made them another 5 talents. So it said this man took his money and he earned almost $1 million. He took his 5 talents, or let's say he made $500,000. He took his $500,000 and he literally doubled it to $1 million. He took his $20,000 and he literally doubled it to $40,000 a year. He took his $50,000 and he literally doubled it to $100,000 a year, right? Okay, and then 17 it say, and likewise he that had received 2 talents, he also gained another 2. So he received 2 talents. Let's just say he had 30,000, right? So he doubled his yearly wages of 30,000. He doubled it to 60,000. But then it say, but he that received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his master's money. And along the master of those servants coming and reckoned with them. And he said that, and he so y'all, don't worry about my mumble jumble words. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought another 5 talents, saying, Master, thou deliverest me unto me 5 talents, and behold, I have gained besides them 5 more talents. And then his master said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Almighty. Then he also received that had received 2 talents. He came and said, Master, thou delivered unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents besides them. His master said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Almighty. Then we at 24. Then he which had received 1 talent came and said, Master, I knew that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid the talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. And his master answered and said, listen, this word get good. His master answered and said, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not straw. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury, meaning interest, or more, or double. Then he says, take therefore the talent from him and give it unto which that have 10 talents. For everyone that have shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay, y'all. Let's just get to it. How do you apply this scripture to financial stability or the overflow that we are praying for? It makes sense right here. I mean, he is literally telling you right here. He's literally giving you financial advice. For instance, right? When he come and he say, thou good and faithful servant, to the ones that went and invested their money or went and got more money, right? He calls them good and faithful servants. Then he said, if you good over few, I give you more. So now we say, why are some of us always broke? Some of us are always broke because we are not using biblical principles to apply to our finances. We are always broke because either we putting the money in the account, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with saving, because listen, saving is very important. We put the money in the account and we save it until it's time to spend it. And then the money is gone. The money is not replenished. It just disappears. So that makes you not a good and faithful servant. That makes you not a good servant over the money that the Most High has given you, because it's all his. Y'all hear the pastor say it all the time, give back, because it's his anyway. And it is. And he's lending you this salary. He's lending you this money, but he expects for you to make that money get you the overflow or the abundance that he talks about, right? And like I said, your abundance might be 40,000 from your 20. Your abundance might be 60,000 from your 30. Your abundance might be 1,000,000 from your 500,000. Whatever your abundance is, because everybody abundance or overflow is not going to look the same. So get that out your head. Listen, y'all, let me say something right here. I know this is off topic, but we all so lusty, right? Everybody is so lusty. And sometimes we lust after lives and we lust after things that the Most High don't got for us. They just not for us. And that's just the bottom line. Yes, he wants you to have an overflow with what he's giving you. Listen what it say. I'm going to go all the way back to 15:25. It literally say he gives every man according to his several ability. To his ability, to his blessing. Everybody has a blessing that the Most High gives you. And baby, you should have an overflow in that. But don't let Instagram and Facebook make you all lusty and now you trying to live somebody else's life. Get that together, because that's already a no-no. That's the first no-no we make, is that we're lusting outside of our ability. We're lusting outside of our blessing. So lightweight, you really telling the Most High that what you've given me ain't good enough. What you've given me ain't what I need. I need more. So it makes you ungrateful. It makes you ungrateful and complaining. And you know what it say he feel about a murmurer and a complainer. It say he hates a murmurer and a complainer. So don't be that. Don't let social media or these pictures make you lust outside the ability that he's giving you. Lust outside the blessing that he's giving you, because he's giving you a blessing that comes with overflow. He has. Your everyday finances is a blessing that comes with overflow. But if you're not applying the biblical principles to see the overflow, you're going to always feel broke. Like the man with one talent. He dug it in the ground. He didn't put it towards to see that overflow. And you're going to feel broke. So now what it's teaching us is literally teaching us how to invest our money to make more money. And no, y'all, I'm not telling y'all to invest all y'all money or nothing like that. But I got like a principle thing that I do. Like I got like a rule of thumb. I know y'all probably going to be like, oh, I never heard that before. But so in the Bible, it talks about 2 tithes, right? It talks about 2 tithes. So it talks about the tithe that you give the Almighty, you know, the tithe for the widow and the fatherless and the homeless and those in need. It talks about that tithe. But then it also says something in the Old Testament about a tithe that you eat the fat of. So it talks about 2 tithes. So maybe like, I don't know, like 15 years ago, I was at a church and a Jewish rabbi came, and that second tithe is what he called a teruma. I don't know if they all believe that or not, but I know like 15, 17 years ago, he was talking about that tithe and he called it a teruma. He said it was a tithe that you put into your savings. So I do that. So I do 2 tithes. So let's just say if I make $100 a week, right? $100 just make it even. $100 a week. And we know the tithe off $100 is going to be $10. So I put $10 in my tithe for the needy. And then I put $10 in my savings, my tithe, my teruma to myself. So then the rest of my money, so I got $80 left. So then I got $80 left. So then what I do is I take $20, both tithes put together. So then I take $20. So I take 20 out of that 80, which gets me down to what? $30.
Y'all, my math off this morning. So it get me down to what? $80. No, I was already at $80. Then I took 20 more. Y'all.
So now I then took $40. So like I said, it got me down to $60. So I got, y'all, excuse my math. I got $10 in my normal tithe. I have $10 in my saving that I call my teruma. And now I took $20. So I added both of those tithes. I took $20. So now I have $60 left. And in that $60, I pay my everyday expenses. Out of that $60, I'm going to pay my bills. I'm going to put gas in my car. And maybe I go out to eat once a week or something like that. You know, we're not talking about realistically. We're talking about if I made $100 a week, right? Okay, so now with this $20, I invested. And y'all, investments can look different type of ways. Listen, you don't have to be a stockbroker to invest, because sometimes investments look like, I'm going to take $20 out of that. And maybe you bake. I'm going to take $20 and I'm going to put that $20 into baking supplies. And I'm going to sell cakes and I'm going to make $100 off the $20 that I sold cakes. Or maybe that $20 look like, I'm going to put this $20 in the savings and I'm going to invest in myself. Maybe you were STNA and you always wanted to be a nurse. So now over these years, you put this $20 aside each week, and now you have enough to pay for nursing school. Or maybe your $20 do look like, hey, I'm going to go invest. Maybe I buy some cryptocurrency, or maybe I buy a stock. Or maybe the $20 look like, oh, I'm going to save this money over these years, and maybe I buy a duplex where I live in the bottom half and somebody pay rent in the top half, and I take half that rent to pay the mortgage and the other half to reinvest. Maybe that's how it looks, but I just want you to know that whatever you have right now, whatever you have, if that's $100 a week, $100 a month, whatever you have, the Most High has given you the favor in that area to have an overflow. But the problem is you're not using these biblical principles right here in Matthew 25 to see that overflow. And so that's what me and my daughter talked about. We talked about, hey, if you make this much, make sure you put this much in your tithes, put this much in your self-tithes or teruma, and then you take out that portion out of the money you make and you invest in something, however that is. You know, even she was saying, my daughter was saying, one of her investment ideas was, oh, Mom, I'm going to buy a camera because I like photography. And then maybe I can start taking pictures, because now I see from that money, now you start to see this overflow. Maybe she charged $100 a sitting fee per picture. So now she's getting the overflow with the income she already had. She didn't need to go out and beg. Nothing fell from heaven when she was walking, a big pile of money. No, the overflow came from her taking the blessing that she was already afforded or given by the Most High, taking that blessing and using it to apply these biblical principles to see your overflow. So y'all, I want y'all to know. Maybe your pastor didn't teach you. Maybe you didn't learn it in school. But right here, Matthew 25, starting at 14, Yeshua is literally teaching you how to take what you have to see the overflow he promised. You know, everybody was talking about believe the promises. But I always tell y'all, some things take work. You have to do something to receive those things. Think about it. He say, to be blessed, you got to choose blessings. You have a responsibility in that. So yes, listen, he promises you an overflow. But if you're only praying for it and nobody's teaching you how to receive or how to activate that overflow, you're missing out. And this right here, Matthew 25, starting at 14, Yeshua is literally teaching you how to activate that overflow, how to activate and apply these principles so that you manifest that overflow in your everyday life. And that's how you do it. And so, like I said, you don't need to take all your money. You do not need to take all your money because that's unrealistic. But you take that piece of the tithe. You take, once you pay your tithe here and you pay your tithe there, I always put my tithes together because tithe is only 10%, right? So I know that if I make $100 a week, right? If I make $100 a week and I pay $10 tithe here, $10 tithe to my savings, right? I can afford to take $20 out of that $80 to invest. And that's what I do. I do 10% tithe to the needy or to the Most High. And then I do 10% tithe to myself. And then I do a 20% investment. That's what I do. And that is the financial principles that have kept me in the overflow. People always like, you live a good life. I do. I'm not rich. I do live a good and peaceful and joyous life. And I thank the Most High for that. Like, I thank him for his blessings. I thank him for his little that he teaches me how to make abound. I thank him for the few that he teaches me how to make more and many. You see? So y'all, like I said, I'm not a financial guru. I'm literally just sharing the logical biblical principles and how the Most High has taught me to apply it to everyday life, to see the blessing that we all desire, to see that blessing. So y'all, if y'all want more videos like this, we could talk about other stuff, because another important part is budgeting. I don't budget like everybody else. So we could talk about budgeting, and we could talk about some small investments or whatever. If y'all want more financial biblical advice, I would love to do that, because my daughter says that they're not teaching that at church and they're not teaching that at school. So Ma, you should give it. So here I am giving it, y'all. So I want y'all to do that too before I end this video. I literally want y'all to take that biblical principle of tithing and investing. So if you make $100, you take $10, and that's your tithe to the Almighty to use for the homeless or the needy or whatever. That's your tithe to the Almighty. Then you do what I do, and that second tithe, that second 10%, you put that in your savings. So now you have $80. And so from that $80, you take out your 20% investing, right? And that's going to be $20. And y'all and it could just be simple investments. I mean, simple investments. And I told my daughter, because she like, Ma, I want to start doing stocks or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And she like, well, some stocks cost $50 a stock or whatever. But I'm like, you can buy portions of shares. So if you take your $20 and you say, oh, I want to put my $20 into this stock that maybe costs $100 a share, you still get a portion of that. So if that stock does go up, guess what you still get? You still get an overflow, or what Yeshua calls usury. You still get this increase. You still receive this increase. So even if you take that $20 and you invest it in a stock, or you take that $20 and you invest it in something that you have a skill with. So maybe, like I said, baking, or you invested, maybe you a painter, you invested in some canvases, and then you paint, and then you sell the canvases. But whatever you do, invest it. And I know sometimes investing sounds scary to people. They like, what if I lose it? What if I buy all these canvases and nobody buys anything? Oh, what if? You can think like that if you want to. But the truth is, you waste more than 20% of your income every week, I bet. Probably every day. Think about it. You buy a coffee and you drink it. That's wasting it. That's a percentage of your income that you literally drunk and you about to pee out. That's the real truth. So we make these 20% investments, whether we invest it right or wrong. And that's just the real truth. Because even if I go out to eat, guess what I've made? I've invested that money into something. And it was food, and we ate it, and it came out, and it didn't do us no good. It didn't bring us to the overflow that the Almighty promised us. So I want you to know, don't be scared when you hear the word investment, because it's not scary. We take risk on our money every day. If you go and you like, oh, I want to see if this works, and you go buy it for $30. Guess what? It don't work. Guess what you did? You just invested your $30 in something that is not giving you a return. So don't be scared when you hear the word investment. And like I said, investment, it sounds like a big word, but it's a real small word. It just means putting your money towards something that will give a return, whether that's stocks, whether that's saving to go to school, because it is going to give you a return. Even if you save to take some type of program or save to get some knowledge. My little cousin, he loved real estate. So he takes his money and he goes to real estate classes that teaches him more and gives him more skill within the field he's going into. And that also is an investment. So I want y'all to know that investment is this word that we make so big and we narrow it down to one thing, but there are many ways that you can use your money to invest. Simple ways. And I want you to know that you can do these things within your ability. The Most High is not asking you to do something outside of your ability. You see right here, Yahshua say, I gave them according to their ability. So you might got a desire to buy a Bitcoin right now that's $56,000. Guess what? Your desires outside your ability. So reel it back in, and inch up to that. Because guess what? If you use these biblical principles, pretty sure that you might be able to invest $10,000 into something, because you've used these principles and they've been growing your finances. So y'all, let me know if this worked, but try it. Try this biblical principle. Even if you got to go back and you got to read Matthew 25:14 all the way down to 27 over and over again until it click. Keep reading it, because this is financial biblical advice from Yahshua himself, teaching you how to see the overflow for the blessing that you've been given. You've been given a blessing. You have been given a blessing. No, it ain't a Bill Gates blessing, but it's a yo blessing. It's a Quavonne blessing. It's a Sharice blessing. It's a Mike blessing. You see, it's a Trayvon blessing. It is the blessing that you've been given. And he's also giving you the wisdom and the ability to see overflow with the blessing you've been given. So let's pray, y'all. Most High, first of all, we just come to you saying thank you. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your knowledge. And most of all, thank you for your blessing, your ability that you've given us. We thank you, Most High. We thank you. We thank you. We ask you, help us to see your blessing clearly. Help us to understand your knowledge clearly, so that we clearly take those principles and apply them to our everyday life to see the overflow that you promised us, to see the blessings that you promised us come to pass within our life. And we thank you in the name of Yahshua. Amen. Y'all, I love y'all. I love y'all. I pray y'all take these principles and apply them and see the overflow, see the outcome, see the blessing. All right, y'all. Mwah, 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 mwah.